asked you to do. It's always tied to something in my life or something that you guys have experienced or something that, oh, sorry. It's all good, we'll figure it out. Caleb, what's up? You just stretch it. You got more? Excellent. So, a couple years ago, and some of you guys may have this at your jobs, COCC offers health insurance to its employees. And there's different plans. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. And usually the difference of the plans is how much you pay per month and how much you have to pay when you go to the doctor. And generally speaking, there's an inverse relationship. The more you pay per month, the less you pay every time you go to the doctor, generally speaking. Well, a couple years ago, I think it was 4 years ago now, COCC started offering something called a high deductible healthcare plan. It has an extraordinarily low monthly premium. A premium is an ante for a life insurance policy, right? When you go up to play the game of Chuck-a-Luck, you have to slap down $1. When you go in to play the game of insuring yourself with a life insurance, you have to pay a monthly fee. So the high deductible healthcare plan has a very low monthly, it's like 10% of what the normal monthly premium is. But when you go to the doctor, you got to pay a lot more because that's the high deductible. The maximum out of pocket, which per year until insurance pays 100% of your medical bills, is something I think at $10,000 or $15,000 under the high deductible healthcare plan. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, right? So as soon as I found out that we could enroll in that, I enrolled my family in it. And my coworker said, "Are you out of your mind?" I said, "Well, probably, but why do you say that with this healthcare plan?" They said, "The maximum out of pocket is $15,000. I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, you can't afford that." I said, "I know I can't afford that." And they said, "Well, then why would you sign up for it?" I'm like, "Because I would never most likely have to afford that. Why would I say such a thing? Why would I admit that I can't afford $15,000 in medical payments over the course of a year, but still sign up for a healthcare plan that would require me to pay it if I were sick?" Caitlin, go.
Well, if you're not sick, you don't go to the doctor, so you don't pay the high deductible.
Did you hear the first word out of Caitlin's mouth? If. The high deductible, $15,000 maximum out of pocket is if I actually have to go to the doctor enough to generate $15,000 worth of bills. How likely is that to happen with me and my family?
Essentially,
You be careful with that. You watch that, girl. Hate it when you're right. What you got me. You actually got me pretty good there.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd forget about that. I told you I almost got killed on Monday, right?
About that.
This Monday?
This Monday I almost got killed.
It's not.
Kid in a truck, 5 o'clock in the morning. Riding to, slight pause. Riding to work. I go the same route every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I swim at Juniper. So I'm riding 5 o'clock in the morning on 1/8th Street. I turn right on Greenwood, and then I take a left into 6th, which is where Juniper is. There's a Card Lock gas station right there on the corner of Juniper and corner of Greenwood and 8th. And I was at the light. It was red. So I stopped. I got my bike. I've got a blinker red on my butt. I've got a blinker white up front. I've got 1,000 lumens on my head, and I've got reflective sidewalls. Why? To decrease the chance of dying, decrease the chance of living. So it's 5 o'clock. It's pitch black. You know, it's dark. Light's red. I turn right after stopping at the red, and I'm going down Greenwood. Now that Card Lock station has 2 curb cuts where cars can come in and go out off of Greenwood. I hear before I see the engine of a large truck, and then I see the headlights off my peripheral vision over here. So I hit the brakes like Luke Skywalker on Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and the bike stops, and a 3/4 ton pickup just goes flying in front of me, right where I would have been had I not stopped. So I take a deep breath, my heart pounds, and then I get pissed. I'm like, kill that son of a bitch. I chased him down. So I tear off after him. I'm like, I'm never going to catch this guy. He's going, and then I see his turn signal turn on. I'm like, I got him now. He's turning down 6th Street. He's probably going to the pool like I am.
There's a limited number of places.
At 5 a.m., right? So he turns left. I'm like, I got him. I'm pissed. And I pull in, and he's at the stop sign. When I come up on him, his brake lights are on, and I see what looks like him going like this in the rearview mirror. I'm like, he's gonna let me catch you. So I slam up, and then he goes away from me. And I'm like, okay, I'm still with him. I still got him. I will catch you in the city, FYI, if you ever pull this on me. I will catch you. I'm that determined. He pulls into a parking spot at Juniper. Got him. Rolled right up to his door and stood there with my light shining in his window for 20, 25 seconds. He's got his coffee and he's trying to play it off. I'm standing there staring into his window, and so I just knock on his window and I turn my light off and the window goes down. I go, was that you back at the the card lock station? He's like, yes. And I leaned in, and I used a lot of expletives. I'm not going to share them with you. If you ever do that again. And I let it hang, and then I just pedaled away. Now, I know the kid. He's one of the Bend High Swim seniors. He's full of himself. I've seen him in the locker room. He's full of himself, strutting around, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully, I'm hoping that made an impression on him to never pull that again, because I came this close to getting completely clobbered on Monday. So Linda, yes, if I continue to bike commute, I'm increasing my chance of death a little bit in the catastrophic. But health-wise, I'm also increasing my longevity. And my family is like this. I've got this bomb-proof kid, apparently. He doesn't seem to get sick. I got a bomb-proof wife, so it's less likely that I'm going to have to incur $15,000 of medical bills. Therefore, it makes more sense for us to save the money month to month in an interest-bearing account. Does that, you see what I'm getting at, friends? And it's funny, because when I first offered, most of my employee friends were like, I'm never going to go for that plan. And then when I started explaining it to them, basically doing the same thing we're doing in here, they're like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And the plan has grown in popularity because you got the geek explaining it. But people see the $15,000 max amount of pocket, they freak out. As well they should, because if it's a guarantee, then nobody's going to sign up for it. But if you can say to yourself, I don't think I'm realistically going to incur $15,000 of debt year to year, then it makes sense to go with it. If you can't, then don't go with it, right? I'm not saying this plan's for everybody. I'm saying this plan's for a certain subset of people. Caitlin, go!
Honestly, isn't that kind of why some insurance companies prefer not to insure people who are more likely to get sick all the time?
Yes, ma'am. It's this game right here. It's this game right here. This governs all insurance. You are looking now at what governs every single insurance plan you will ever have. Car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, flood insurance, fire insurance, everything. It's all gambling. It's gambling because those events do have an element of chance to them, don't they?
Yeah.
Whether or not your house floods tomorrow is somehow dependent on chance. What's the weather doing right now? I don't know. God knows it's Bend. It's going to change 20 minutes from now, right? How are the sewer systems in Bend? FYI, pretty bad, pretty overloaded right now. Pretty overloaded. Have you seen them when they back up? It's not the most pleasant thing. Why does Aubrey Butte smell like poop right now? All right? So there's all kinds of little random chance things that go into it. Insurance companies' jobs is to monitor that and mitigate that. So what I did, for fun, was I went on the CDC website. This was about 2-3 years ago. I was 39, I believe, when I did this. I'm 41 now. The chance of me dying within the year I did this assessment was 0.00269. Now, where did this number come from? I'm guessing what they did was they looked at Oregonian 39-year-old males and said out of every 100,000, 269 died last year. Therefore, the chance of me dying, if I apply that out, is roughly 269 out of 10,000, which ends up being that. I'm guessing that's what that is. Okay? It's an average, which means it might not apply to me, because obviously I didn't die last year. But it's an average. Okay? This one surprised me. The chance of my being disabled and therefore not able to work was 12%. That one caught me off guard a little bit. That's a 1 in 8 shot. So essentially, if I can apply that year to year, every 8 years, I'm going to not be able to work, which is, that average kind of threw me for a loop. But I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust it. Here's what I want you guys to do. Slam through parts 3, 4, and 5, and then let's regroup as a class and talk about that, okay? I'll be moving around and helping you as you need me.